1, 2, check. Hey, what? That's. Oh no, I've moved it. Oh no, I was all prepared. Oh, there it is. Hey you. Look, it's moving around the screen now. It's moving around the screen. Oh, what's that? Hey you. Oh, check Chuffy 1, 2. Oh, I'm just going to assume it's all working. Look, I'm just going to assume it's all. I'll check it. There it is. Hey you. Look, it's moving around the screen now. It's moving around the screen. Oh, what's that? Hey you. Oh, check Chuffy 1, 2. Oh, I'm just going to assume it's all working. Look, I'm just going to assume it's all. I'll check. Am I in sync? Am I in sync? Oh, check Chuffy 1, 2. Oh, I'm just going to assume it's all working. Look, I'm just going to assume it's all. I'll check. Am I in sync? Am I in sync? Oh, check Chuffy 1, 2. Oh, I'm just going to assume it's all working. Look, I'm just going to assume it's all. I'll check. Yeah, I am quite in sync. Am I in sync? Yeah, I am. All right. I actually said in my brain what I'm going to do this episode. Like, imagine this happened. Okay, imagine this happened. I've turned the microphone up a bit, so if the microphone's up too loud, you tell me. I've turned it up a bit. But imagine this happened, that... Now I've lost my chuffing window. That I said, all right, today we are, and just going straight into it. I didn't do that chuffy. You're interested. You don't want to hear chuffing, so I'm straight into it. Today it's Autodidactic. Quite a famous... Quite a big cheese, done all the seminars, quite a big truther, quite a big flat earther, quite a big truther, quite a big one, quite a big flat earther, quite a big truther. And they've got a new video, Earth Stars, Star Forts Across the Realm, Autodidactic with 50,000 subscribers, their own website, their own range of merchandise. There's some interesting comments that we're going to look at in a minute. Autodidactic. And this is Star Forts. We're going to look at what they've got to say. But I thought before we do, I'll set up a little bit of context. I like to do a bit of chuffing. I like to set up a bit of context. You can't stop me. It's my prerogative. It's my stream. Hi, you're with Scott. This is Ganji Kid, my stream. I'm Grave Kipper. It's midnight. It's always midnight. Today we're rolling at 15:33, like an hour late. I like to start at 2, 1 or 2. But actually I'm late. This is your right ear. This is your left ear. This is the middle. So what I think they're going to do is they're going to tell us about Star Forts. Well, I know what they're going to do because I've looked at the video. It's going to be Star Forts. They're going to suggest that Star Forts are in some way this great reset, this Tartaria, this proof of truth. Proof of truth. Why don't they use slogans and catchphrases like I do? Proof of truth. Oh, there's an advert. So it's also a way of them making money. But what happens in this particular video...
because I was...
Not the one about the donuts and the cake, the video about the Tartaria and the Star Forts. What happens in that video is that he doesn't say anything really, just shows you the pictures. So I thought, for some context, I'll start. What I think they should be doing, I don't know why all these flat earth truthers, Tartarians, have I got Tartaria in my title today? But I should have Tartaria in my title. Yeah, I do, yeah. The Tartarians, I don't know why they've all got... a bit of a bee in their bonnet about this particular Autodidactic, because what Autodidactic should be doing, right, is they're saying these are Star Forts, Star Forts, there's some sort of idea. They should at least be presenting their idea. They don't seem to do that. What they should do is they say, look, Star Forts exist. They're called Bastion Forts. Doing their work for them now. I'm doing their work for them now. Star Forts exist. They're called Bastion Forts. This is their history, or supposed fake history. Fake history. We won't get onto that yet. We'll just do the... What you do is you set the scene by saying this is what is believed. Look, there's one of Palamanova in 1593. This town is still shaped in that way. So they talk about in this article why they're shaped like this. And the reason they're shaped like this is because they used to do circles and rounds, but they weren't so good at fighting. It used to be spears and arrows, and the circles and the being on a hill, that was fine. But then we got onto cannons and gunfire, trebuchets, cannons, and they found they weren't so good. So they resorted to changing the architecture for better defensive means. And it happened throughout the 1530s and 1540s. The designs spread out in Italy because Michelangelo was doing them. Michelangelo, he's a big famous one. So they've been going for ages. They were popular at a certain time, and of course warfare changed and they became less popular. Spread throughout the world, just like the empires of their day. they've got a sort of scientific reason, this dead zone. If you're in a circle and someone's over there, all the people around the circle turn to face the target, and you all sort of point in the same... You can't shoot. Some of you, oh, you're in my way. Can you move? No, I can't move. I'm on the wall. Well, I'm on the wall, but the target's over there. Well, what they did is they reshaped the wall. So now, if the target's over there and you all turn to face them, the majority of you can get a shot. It's like it's a technique. It removes this dead zone. So there's reasons for it. There were other changes, fashions, designs. They were quite expensive. So you've got the history of the financial... This is what's quite interesting in this construction section, is you've got not only the history of the actual construction, the plans, you know, the images drawn up, the final works, but you've also got the financial record. Siena bankrupted itself to pay for its defences. You've also got the financial record of how they were constructed. It's not just the physical record. So that's quite cool. Talks about the effectiveness, the role in the revolutions, and now obsolescence. So we just build nice statues on them because they're just useless now because we don't have anyone coming to invade with their cannons. Let me just check this out. Role in the revolutions, and now obsolescence. So we just... I sound all right, but I'm hoping I sound a little bit louder because in previous broadcasts I've been a little bit quiet. You tell me. You tell me. So that's what Star Forts are, anyway. But that's not what we're talking about today, is it? We're talking about Tartaria. So they're going to tell us something different. I assume they're going to tell us something different. I assume they're going to debunk, essentially, what I've just said. But to make it clear what I've just said isn't just me, I would like to start with this. If you're Tartaria and you're coming here from Tartaria, if you don't like this debunking and this guy telling you your people that you're following are just trying to rip you off, just trying to fill your head full of silly ideas so they can blag you for money, here's something I want you to know. Here's something I want you to know. I'll explain to you first about what they should be doing with their videos, and then I'm going to explain what they are doing and why you're being, maybe you, maybe not you, by people are being fooled by it, and why what their plan is. First of all, let's watch this.
Centuries of kingdoms, duchies, religious and cultural differences and strife, Europe is packed with historical sites. And places like these are the result of the most destructive invention up until that time: cannons. My name is Sebastian. This is Oddworld. Medieval fortresses were usually built high or on hills to make it possible to rain down arrows on approaching enemies. But these straight and tall walls, curtain walls, proved vulnerable to cannon fire. After the invention of gunpowder in the 9th century in China, the first depictions of cannons appeared there in the 12th century.
So this is a historical based channel. He's saying what I just said. This is called Oddworld, but the channel is actually Why on Earth, and it's well researched. There's a lot of different, just like in the Tartaria videos, there's a lot of different, you know, ideas thrown up, but they showed, you know, reasons for their thinking backed up by these referenced that was, it said what that picture was, you know. It's a bit more scientific sort of thing.
With the design not changing much all the way until the 1750s. And it's in this time we also see defensive architecture change as a response to this formidable foe. Gone.
So he said they built cannons, and because the cannons, like I just said, you know, were so strong, they had to change their defensive, and so it happens.
Although not a new invention, these fortresses had low, sloped earthen banks called glacis. These were sloped on the outside towards any possible attacker, and made it difficult for cannon fire to seriously damage the citadel behind them.
So it's just a new concept of defense. It's very clearly outlined here. So if you want to see more, he's got a 6-minute video, really explains it, talking about how they built them, so, you know, referencing the building materials and the way it worked. So all these images are in here as well, but this is a good explanation of why they are, what they are for, and why they exist. So if you're going to make a truth video, if you're going to make a Tartaria video, what I'm expecting from you is to outline this that I've just outlined, show the wiki, you know, show the things that we all normal people think, that the confusion that's going on in the world, because that's what you're trying to debunk, isn't it? That's what you're trying to truth. That's what you're trying to explain, isn't it? So you show what it is first. Yeah. Probably go into one of these more, because I haven't done a video on it, have I? I've just picked one out from, probably choose one of these, probably this one's a good one, and then you go ahead and debunk that, don't you? Say why that's wrong and why you can prove that's wrong. So that's what I'm expecting. That's the high standard of, that's the standard of what we would call either journalism or reference or historical, conversation. This is what we do, isn't it? We make a point. They've done it very clearly here. Star forts existed. Lots of kingdoms had them. Before them, there were medieval forts. So they set it in its context, what there was before, how the world changed, why they needed to do this, why they did it, how they did it. It's all there, outlined in a very clear structure. So I'd expect a very clear structural breakdown of why that's not right, if you're going to debunk that. That's what we're looking for. That's the standard that we're looking for. And this is one of the top ones. This is autodidactic, but this is not going to come up to that standard. And I'll tell you, watch a bit of autodidactic, seeing that it doesn't come up to that standard, and then I'll tell you why it doesn't afterwards and what the plan is. Why autodidactic is deliberately making their stuff a bit stupid. I'll tell you why. Stay tuned. Right, autodidactic just uses music. There's no talking. I'll prove this. Okay, so it's just all music, so I'm going to bin off their music because I hate it, and we'll just listen to the calm, relaxing game music in the background instead, which I'm listening to courtesy of Mitari Mango. And Mitari Mango, one of these days I'm going to email you and ask you if you'll do one with a lower volume so I can just have it gently in the background without me having to mess with the volume like I have to every time, and like a background music one, because I have to mess with that volume anyway. Look, let's go back to autodidactic. Let's bin off that one that I said was good, because I'm not going to come back to that. I just wanted to show it you as an example of what's good. And let's go to, because otherwise I get confused. This is autodidactic. Autodidactic. And this is a 14-minute video. So something else I'm going to do as well is I'm going to speed it up, because it's just pictures. I can pause it when I want to. So I'm going to speed up the playback speed. So here we go, star forts. Now, what we've just learned is that they come in all different shapes and sizes. This, I've been doing a little bit of looking into it and reading before I started. This is a more modern one. You can tell because it's not as complex. And the pentagram, it's not a star, is it? It's a is that a pentagram? Pentagon. Pentagon. It's a bit more of a simple shape. It's modern brick building. I learned that they became more simple shapes as cannons changed, and also as materials changed. But in the early stages, they were a bit more complex, and more simple ones like this would have been later versions. I mean, we still build buildings in shapes sometimes. That's geography more than a fort, isn't it? It was cut out in the geography. Clearly defensive though, isn't it, to have that big moat and all that. So there you go, for obvious reasons. What autodidactic is not doing is showing us what these things are or where they are. This one is an artist's impression. Is that a painting, or is it a real thing? Is it a real photograph? I can't tell. Remember, when you're doing flat earth, you're not allowed to use real photographs as evidence, because you could be taking them with a funny camera, or they could be photoshopped. But here we're using Google Earth. It seems, look, Google Earth. So for some reason, autodidactic is quite happy to take the media of the mainstream and use it as evidence, but we're not allowed to. Remember, we're not allowed to. But this is the Netherlands. There's another example of an old geographical feature that is now, sort of set into the. This is something else. I can't even make out what that is. This is another one. England, apparently. England. I don't know where in England, but England. We, of course, had lots of wars with France. Literally, there's a strip of water between England and France. Not me. I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive. I didn't do it. But there was a strip of water between us and France. So we had these military on the. This one isn't the shape of a star. It's very heavily pixelated, but it's not the shape of a star. It's just sort of ruggedy. It's got similar features, but obviously it's not exact, because sometimes you didn't have to make them exact. It wasn't a question of geometric excellence. It was a question of defences. So sometimes they're not in the shape of stars. So that's that blown. You will notice, of course, like I said, autodidactic is not. There's no talking. There's no explanation. There's no actual sentient point here. Is there? Remember, before we said these are built like this. This is why they're built. This is how they're built. The reason they started building them like this was the reason that they started going back past quick. Because I said it to go past quick. Because you don't know, like you don't know what this is and where, who built it and why. You can't reference anything. There's no. Like, this is not evidence of anything. And also, if it were to be evidence of something, I'd like it if Autodidactic would suggest what it fucking well supposed to be. Because they're not, are they? They're just saying, oh, they had star forts. Well, we know they had star forts. Big thumbs up. They definitely had star forts. I think you're supposed to be saying that this is evidence of some lost civilization, that Tartaria, the cover-up, the mud flood. You know, I think you're supposed to be using it as evidence. But instead of that, you're just showing pictures. Why? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And, you know, we'll see a few more. And unless any of these can be given any context, because at the moment they all look exactly like what we described. That one's a bit more uniformly shaped, uniformly built. But yeah, it's got those sloped walls. It's built into the landscape, like they said. And it's a defensive position. Yeah, it looks exactly right as we're supposed to see it. Earth stars. This is Germany. So this one's actually, again, we've given reference, but only because they're so lazy as to just clip it off Google Maps, assuming that satellite imagery of Google Maps is acceptable these days and not part of the conspiracy. I don't know. But that's not an exact star, is it? It's not an exact star. It's not a good, what's the word? Geometric star. It's just rough. But that's because it's been built into the landscape. Maybe it was a little bit more geometric in early planning and laying, but it doesn't seem that way now. And also something interesting to note is these stars, they're pinching in a bit, aren't they? And they're tweaking out a bit on the points because that's better for defences. It's not better for defences to be exactly geometric in some cases. So some cases they're not. Based on geometric designs, it says at the top there. Well, I've poo-pooed that one out of the water. Based on geometric designs, yeah. Just like every piece of architecture in the world, because if you're going to use rulers and shapes, then you're going to be basing things on geometric designs. That is everything. That's at the root of everything. Well done. However, they're not rigidly structured on geometric designs, are they? They're just loosely. And to be fair, some of these aren't even that geometric. The way the points come out at the end of the squares is a bit more abstract. It's a bit more abstract. You're still using triangles and shapes, but you're not using the... Look, I'll prove it. Tetragrammaton. My favourite. Oh no, I always do that, don't I? I always accidentally show you the tetragrammaton instead of the... That'll blow their minds. That'll baffle them. They'll think I'm doing some sort of voodoo magic on them. I always get the words mixed up. Tetragrammaton and I want Metatron. Metatron is this geometric shape encompassing all other geometric shapes. Quite clever, really, because it's just maths. So that's that shape there. And you can see that shape above my head is uniform. The way it creates those uniform triangles poking out, that is a geometric star. Those are the geometric shapes. Within those lines are all the geometric shapes, the standards. So that's cool. I'm glad we can see that. If we now look at this, you can see it's not that, is it? It's curved. The triangle comes out and then there's a straight bit and a curve on that near point. Those triangles extend out off the square. They're not. That's not based on geometric designs. It's not. You couldn't overlay Metatron's cube over that. It wouldn't work exactly right because it's not. As you see here, it's poking out to the right there with a bit of a forecourt. But otherwise, it's similar to a geometric design. The centerpiece is a pentagram. God, I'm saying the wrong words and it sounds occult, and they're going to think I'm part of the devil crew. Pentagon. It's got a pentagon inside, but because they put those like arrowheads on the end, that's destroyed the geometric unity. It's not got that perfect symmetry anymore. I mean, it's symmetrical, but it's not got that geometric perfection of symmetry like Metatron. It's become a bit more abstract. And then they've just got those beyond. You can see that beyond the wall there's another triangle just on its own, just put out there, because that's a good position to have a triangle. But beyond, I think we're doing well. Okay, we'll give... That's a nice shape. That one's not. That one's more haphazard. That's because that one, they built the fort in the old days, and then they built up the new buildings around it. So the newer architects said, all right, let's put a really nice straight road in here. Let's tidy this up. Let's use it and celebrate it. So that's a modern place I know where that is. It's in Italy. It's a modern place in Italy, but the old structure wasn't as exact as all that. But they did their best to keep it nice. Whereas this one, next one please, next slide please, in the Netherlands, this one I can see because it's off Google Maps, is this one is not like that. You can see in the centre the old town has got a curvy road and there's a bit more higgledy-piggledy, and then they put a wall and a moat around it in starry, jaggedy shapes, completely devoid of geometric unity there, completely devoid of symmetry. So you've proved your own point wrong, but you didn't even have a point. You just said geometric shapes are involved. So what is your point? Nobody's being clear. Let's get to that then. I've had enough of this shit, yeah? I could go on for another 15 minutes. This video does. Some are in the ocean. Oh, some were island forts. I think that's a prison. I don't think that is it. I think that's a prison, that one. I can't tell. I don't know where it is, what it is. Some buildings are built on archipelago, landfill, sometimes islands, sometimes landfill, whatever. Yeah, they do that. This is just going on like this. Look, Star Fort near Bear Island, Brisbane. There we go. Exactly what I was saying. They build them on islands. Can't even see that one. Oh, there's one. That one's not a star. So it goes on like that for 15 minutes. And if you sit for 15 minutes and just let that wash over you, and you don't know what these things are, and you don't know, that one's not, it's rough, isn't it? It's jaggedy, but it's not exact. If you don't know what these things are, and you just start getting baffled, because the rate that they come at you, and the number of different ideas that are in that one video, sorry, it's another advert. See, they're making money off this, aren't they? They're making money off this. They want you to watch 15 minutes of that shit. So you sit there and you watch 15 minutes of that shit, yeah? And you become baffled and confused. That's the idea. I'll tell you what. Have you ever heard about the Nigerian prince scam? Of course you have. You've used the internet. It's common knowledge these days. It's common knowledge, isn't it, the Nigerian prince scam? No idiot will fall for that, will they? Oh, hello, you've got an email from a Nigerian prince and we want to give you $1 million. If you just send us your bank details, we'll give you $1 million. No idiot would fall for that, would they? That's why, like, you say to yourself then, why do they bother scamming people with that? That can't even work. They must have to send out millions of emails and nobody even bothers replying because it's obviously bullshit. Yeah? So why do they do that? The reason they do that is because a scammer only wants to deal with thick, dumb idiots. A scammer doesn't want a sensible, switched-on person like you on the end of the phone because you're going to spot the scam. They don't want to waste their time. Let's say the email is not so obvious, not a Nigerian prince, not a can I have your bank details, but something that looks like your actual bank details, something that you might be confused by. And so you reply to it and then they say, can you phone this? You phone the number and then you're talking to them and then halfway through you say, hang on, can you tell me my sort code? And they're not sure, and then you say, hang on, I'm going to ring you back, I'm just going to ring the bank. And then you ring the bank and you check God, I just nearly about, I was on the phone to a scammer then. I'm glad I didn't tell them my details. That sort of thing. That could go on. Imagine the day they have. They do that and they think, fuck, we didn't get any money out of that one. That was a fish on the hook that got away. So then it happens again. Someone else rings their hotline and, oh, hello, I'm just going to ring my bank. And, oh, you. God, these people are too switched on. I'm not scamming them. I'm getting them on the hook. And then they're too switched on. They're off. They're away. They've noticed it's a scam. I don't want those people on my hook. They're the difficult fish. They're the ones I have to reel in. Forget them. There's stupid, dumbass people out there that have got money that they can give me. Let's choose them instead. I'll make my scam so obvious, so easy to understand, so obvious. Like these, like this video, a 15-minute video with no commentary and just pictures of stuff. No definite detail on where it is, no actual hypothesis, no debunking of what the real history suggests, no debunking of what the real history suggests, no alternative method of construction, none of that, just here are some pictures of star forts across the realm in the context of my body of work, which is conspiracy rubbish. So you are to assume it's proof of conspiracy rubbish, or if not, this is what they really want, isn't it? This is what they really want, is they want the most stupid people, the most people to watch this and start getting sucked in and go, you know what? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is. If you're not that clever, if you're Nigerian prince scam level of dumb, yeah, if you're going to fall for the Nigerian prince scam level of dumb, that's who they want on the hook. That's who they want watching the videos. There's no point in making them sophisticated, because sophisticated people are not bamboozled. So they make them dumb. And that way, dumb people are attracted. And they're the people they want, because then they can sell them a stupid idea, sell them a book, have 4 adverts in a video so that they get the advertising revenue, become a big cheese in the idiot market. Look at all these comments. So that's what we're going to look at next, is the people that reply, the people that are interested, the level of the person that's interested. I'm going to be a bit offensive on the internet. Here we go then. Mary Ann Knox. I was born next to an ancient star. She's got the emoji of the star in there. Fort in a hospital in upstate Oswego, New York. It is so magnificent and magical star. Forts. Sorry, because she put star and... But this fort hasn't got a capital F. It's a really weird way of punctuating, using emojis like that in the middle of your writing. It makes it harder for me to understand what you're trying to say. But this is what I'm trying to say, isn't it? What I'm trying to say is we're trying to have a look into the minds of the people that believe this shit on no evidence or anything other than just here are some pictures of some star forts, which we have been able to explain with history, but they have not... Okay, we've got that. They're not doing that, are they? Because they want the dumb people. So forget me debunking them. Forget them debunking me. We're not on an intellectual discussion here. We're looking at dumb people and why dumb people are going to look at this and say, oh, that's interesting to me. If you're not armed with the deeper knowledge of why star forts exist, if you don't assume the same things as we assume, well, because of cannons and probably, you know, from between medieval times and now, there's probably a different kind of warfare. Do you know what I mean? If you don't assume that, then you don't know what to think, because you've got no deeper knowledge. Because you don't have the underpinning knowledge, you're not able to think critically. Yeah, so that's why these dumb people look at these pictures and go, this is interesting. 15 minutes of a random assortment of star forts from around the world, some of which are stars and some of which are not, some of which are pictures and some of which are not, some of which are referenceable and some of which are not, some of which might or might not still exist and some of which might not. So, and even referencing times in history, this one is the one that blows my mind. He said Lille, France, 1600s in the video, but you don't believe in the 1600s, do you? Autodidactic. You think the 1600s is the fake bit of history because we went from AD 40 to 1000 AD. That's Jesus' millennial reign, apparently. And then you've got the devil come back, 300 years, the Great Reset. So we're in 1300 now. This hasn't even, that's part of the fake history, but you're using it as part of your evidence for well, it's not evidence, is it? Because you're not making a hypothesis or a suggestion or anything. You're just showing pictures. So let's see the people that take this to heart. Mary Ann Knox has always been fascinated by the star fort. She says there's an energy around them you don't find anywhere else. Well, one thing we have seen for certain, Mary, is that these star forts are found around the world, all over the world, in all different locations. Probably most likely to be coastal, aren't they? They're most likely to be coastal, but really they're everywhere. So I don't know if you mean like specifically when you stand really close to it you feel the energy, but that energy you can't find anywhere else. If it is really, if you're really certain on this, if there is a special energy, you know, the star forts have it and you can't find it anywhere else, you do find it everywhere, because they are everywhere. So you'd be surprised, wouldn't you? I don't know how close you have to be to the star fort to feel that special energy, but you'd have to be pretty close, because otherwise you'd feel it everywhere. Oh, I accidentally clicked the Kirby video. I don't want to watch that. I'm happy where I am, thanks. Me and me mouse clicking. I'm nothing special. I should say this at this juncture, shouldn't I? I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal person. I just make mistakes, click the mouse. You know? I'm just a normal person. I'm not some super scientist, but I can see this clear as day. So, you know, I'm not in with the government. I'm quite alternative myself. In lots of different ways. So it would be a bit weird for me to be saying this against you If you know, this isn't some agenda. This is just a normal person, me, that makes mistakes. That is normal, just like you that makes mistakes. I'm not trying to be mean to you, Mary Ann Knox. I'm just saying you might have made a mistake here. It might be worth thinking more deeply on this, because these people are trying to confuse you and bamboozle you for their own gains. I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. If you do show more, the first two things here are my website, Autodidactic. So you get more clicks on your website, you get more money, don't you? My merch store, you can buy merchandise. They're in it for the money. Join my email list. Of course you want them on your email list, because you can email them your marketing stuff. This is all marketing. These links here are not for the free spread of the truth. They're not for the links to the community so you can spread your truth, are they? They're links to a website which is going to have merchandise, the hub page. This is where you want them on your own website. Each click you can sell advertising space. There you go. There's the merchandise, straight up big. Get your merch, get your affiliate links, all the latest. Oh, there's the details about Autodidactic. I'll look into that at some point. I'm not getting personal yet, but you are, because you're begging for money. So, you know, straight in there with the personal. Yeah, I sort of beg for money on the internet as well, I suppose, if I'm going to hold them to that standard. But look, yeah, there you go. There's your website. So we're actually taking people away from the group, and this is the specific of one person and their financial interest. So you'd think if they would really care about the truth and the future, the first links on here would be links to things like that. For example, when I do Mental Health Monday, the first links on my channel are the Samaritans, Lifeline, Mind.org. You know, I think about the people that are watching the video, and I think, what do they need the most? Certainly not a jumper that I've got my print on to make me an extra 20 quid. So I don't put my merch, and I don't have, but you know what I'm saying? They do. So that's a flag light warning. You know, you're always looking for these red flags and these warnings about, you know, I'm able to see through the lies of today and see the truth. Aren't I smart? I'm Martin Liedtke. I can see through the lies of today and see the real truth. But if you're being used to make somebody else money, then you haven't seen through the lies of today. You've been confused and you know, you're seeing into another veil, and you're just as confused as anyone else. This is just a marketing exercise in that aspect, isn't it? But Mary Ann Knox feels some sort of emotional connection to this. Thank you for sharing this epic video. This is not an epic video, Mary. This is, if I go on Google, write this, right, and write Star Thoughts, yeah, this is the same as the video. Look, my video is now epic. In fact, it's 10 times more epic than the one we just looked at from Autodidactic, because I'm showing you shitloads more Star Thoughts all at once. I don't have to say any words about them, what they are, where they come from. Mine have got actual websites attached to them on this. By doing it through Google search, you can see the actual website. So mine are actually more verifiable. Mine's better. Mine's a better video now, isn't it, Mary? You must think that, Mary. Apart from the things I've said, I'm showing you more pictures of Star Thoughts. And that is all that Autodidactic has done here. They've just gone on Google Maps, Google Earth, and they've just ripped a load of pictures and put them in a 15-minute video. Imagine the time that takes to do that. Imagine the time that takes to do that. It's rubbish. In terms of media production, that's shit. It's just absolute trash. Easy. No, it doesn't own any of these pictures. Doesn't own the rights to any of them. Hasn't given the the copyright. That one says Google Earth literally on it. That one literally says Google Earth on it. But you know, these pictures have just been ripped and dropped and in. Imagine the work that Autodidactic's done to get the advertising money from that. 5,000, is that 5,000 views? So that'd be about like $5, will it? You know, there's $5 worth of work. Like that, look. Just like that. I've done $50 now. You should pay. Mary, I hope that you're going to tip me on coffee.com/Ganji, because, you know, come on. Aren't I shitting all over Autodidactic on their terms? Aren't I showing you more pictures with no context? Look at them all go by. I'm the winner. I'm the winner. Okay. And now, I'm going to continue with this. I was going to skip to some top tips, so I don't seem like such a chuffer. But I'm going to stick with this because I'm just enjoying it. Next. Because this actually gets funny. This gets funny. Melissa Ellis says, fantastic work, Cam. So glad these are being brought into the collective consciousness. So Cam is, like I said, he's regurgitating pictures off Google Maps and Google Earth. These are not being brought into the collective consciousness. Like, they already were there. We already knew about them. I was showing you at the start. I was showing you these at the start. So they're not being brought into the collective consciousness. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Cam's just ripping them off from other resources. They're not researched and discovered, are they? The fact that there's no mention of these ever officially in any history books that I'm aware of tells me something is hidden intentionally. Intentionally spelled wrong there, I'm afraid. But Blue Bear suggests that there's no mention of these in any history books. The fact that there's no mention of these star forts in any history books that I'm aware of tells me something is hidden intentionally. Okay, Blue Bear, I'm about to rock your world. I'm about to blow your mind. I'm about to find you a book. You ready? Do you want to buy a book? Do you want to buy a book? What we're calling Star Forts. Book. You ready? Star Forts. Books. Oh God, it's the Tartarians. Oh, they've got their own books. Shit, I shouldn't have done this. Fortnite. What's going on? It's a conspiracy. No, it's just Amazon's rubbish. Star Forts. Books. History. Forts, an illustrated building for defence. So it is on Amazon. It is on Amazon. There you go. It's on the cover. It's on the fucking cover. So there you go. Don't worry, Blue Bear. Mind blown, I know. Try and hold your brain in. Try and hold your brain in. Okay, try and hold your brain in. Here are more products related to this item, more historical books that may or may not contain Star Forts. This one's got it on the cover. I mean, hopefully that's solved it for you then, hasn't it? Hopefully that's solved it for you. Forts of the War of 1812, that's another one. All you have to do is Google this shit. You know, you don't have to be an idiot all your life. It's got an ISBN. This book is available. It's not a modern... Well, it's a modern book, but it's not like the newest of the new, 2003. I'm sure people have been writing books with Star Forts. Look, there's another one. There's another one, the medieval fortresses. I suppose Star Forts aren't in them because it's after that. So, not medieval. We want something slightly later than that, don't we? Slightly later. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Okay, like I've found loads, shitloads. I bet if you go in the library, you'll find them. But apparently, Blue Bear says there's no mention of these ever officially in any history books that they're aware of. Well done, Blue Bear. Well done. I see the replies. The replies say they are mentioned and explained away by saying they built them for defence. Yet you can go to any continent and these exist. Well, that's why we... That's not a... Enzo says they explain them by saying they built them for defence, but you can go to any continent and they exist. Why are those things incongruent? They're not. That's not mutually exclusive. Like you can have both of those things. We had them for defence and we were on all the different continents. We had the empires. You had the Spanish, you had the Portuguese, you had the British. American history says these were built in defence against the British while the country was being founded and people were living in primitive wood cabins. I believe one of the largest ones, America claims, is 200 miles off the Florida coast in the middle of the ocean. And fun fact, it was restored in 2002 and the mortar was apparently more advanced than what we have in our current times, than what we have in our current times. And over $8 million was put into the study of the mortar to reproduce. I mean, these are just... I don't know if that's true. Sounds pretty... That is a fun fact, because it sounds like it's just bullshit you made up. Goes by the natural cement of... or Portland cement. Portland's known, it's not... Portland cement is not a... Portland cement. It's like a standard building material that you just buy it for a £5 out the out the building materials. Just go down Juicing and get yourself a bag of Portland. It's just a different kind of cement. We know all about that. We know all about that. This is not... See, I've proved you wrong. Enzo, I've proved you wrong. It wasn't $8 million worth of, look, that's $8 million worth. No, it's just Portland cement. General use around the world, 19th century onwards. Normal stuff. But you can't get your head around it because there's something wrong with you. And that's why you're here leaving comments on this. And that's how they've got you. You signed up to the Nigerian print scam. You've just been signed up to the Nigerian print scam. They're not asking for your bank details, but you'll be sending them when you buy your book or your t-shirt or watch the videos and subscribe and like. If you're watching this, give me a like and subscribe. I'm saving lives. I know, I'm saving people money, hopefully. I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean personally on the internet, but it is funny when you see these things because Melissa Ellis says, I was showing my brother-in-law star forts just this week. He's a geologist, hydrologist, currently completing his doctorate. He was shocked, to say the least. Thank goodness, as a scientist, he has an open mind. I think he was probably shocked by the shit you were spouting, and I think he probably was just trying to be nice when he had an open mind. But it would be surprising if someone studying geology and hydrology would be baffled by simple history, isn't it? It'd be surprising. Welcome to hear about that. Thanks for sharing. Let's face it, our ancestors flew through space. And now we're stuck. Let's face it. Our ancestors flew through space. Full stop. New sentence, conjecture, and no capital A. Now we are stuck. Spacebar, full stop. The grammar is not a made. You can get Grammarly if you want. You can get Grammarly. I don't suggest it. I suggest you learn instead. Learn. Because if you can't learn the basics about sentence construction, grammar structure, and style, it worries me. I know it's difficult for some people. I know some people English is not their first language. I know some people have dyslexia. You all get a pass. If you're just normal people banging out your ideas, but you know it's so haphazard in your brain that you should think, "Oh, stop this sentence. Oh, I'm going to carry it on now." Like it just. I worry. Christian Parks says they're built to defend against cannons, gunpowder wars. Castles became obsolete when cannons were invented, but thick walled forts. Christian Parks has just sort of said the normal, but frustrating, Christian. You haven't got a capital T on your first sentence, I know. But I'll give you a pass because you're talking sense. Next comment, Christopher Higgins. There's a whole peninsula on the island of Malta that's a star fort. It's miles long and hundreds of feet high. Hundreds of feet high. It's believed to have megalithic stonework, polygonal stones. Beautiful video, my friend. Absolutely incredible. Should I research that, Christopher, or am I just going to ignore your bullshit? Check out Paul Cook on YouTube. Maybe I will one day. So this is how they get... They're talking to each other now, suggesting it to each other. I want to show you something else if you're into this Tartaria stuff. You're probably not still listening to me, but I want to show you the trends. These are important to note when you're talking about marketing ideas. Because we've got Flat Earth was a big trend. It was. If you check the past 5 years, it's on its way down. Because if you check the past 2004 to present, it went way up. Way up. Way up, 2017, 2018. Now it's on its way down, on a steady downward trend. So all the flat earthers that were making their money off the conferences and videos and truthing in 2018, they were making money then when this trend was flying high. Even the mainstream news was reporting it. Do you remember all your favourite YouTubers were saying, oh, flat earth is back? You know, all that crap. They were making money then on their YouTube views. Now they're not, because it's trending down. They've noticed that slide, that sink into the mud. But lucky for us, if you spell it right, Scotty Hottie, see, I'm just a human who makes mistakes. Lucky for us, Tartaria is on its way up. That's trending up, on its way up. So now they've just shifted. They used to want you to worry about the flat earth. Now they don't care so much. Now they care about what's going to make them more money in the future. And that's Tartaria and all this shit. Oh, that's a different video that I was going to look at. Maybe not today, maybe not yet. Got too many windows open. So they're now in these comment sections hyping each other up. True Leo. Let's go have a look. True Leo. No videos. Okay, fair enough. I thought they might have their own videos, because quite often you get them cross-pollinating. You know, saying well done you've got the right idea there. That helps the work in general, doesn't it? But I don't know, Christopher Higgins. I don't know if you have got the right idea. I don't know if you have. I know there's a star fort on Malta because it's a strategic military position. In fact, when I think of Malta, this is what I actually think of. That's actually what I think of, is the star fort. That's my first thing that I think of, because Malta's a rock outcropping, essentially, betwixt Mediterranean and Atlantic, isn't it? So, is it? Let me just check my... I don't need to know the geography on it. It doesn't matter. They've got a star fort. It's not hundreds of meters high. It's not hundreds of meters high, is it? I mean, if you add it all up, it is, but I don't know. They've got a fairly rudimentary... You know, they've got the ruins of, and just like everywhere else, there's nothing new to see here. Doesn't prove anything. It might have been one of those pictures that went by on the video, because we don't know, because we can't be referencing them. And anyway, pictures don't count, do they, flat earthers? Pictures don't count. Next. They are the kind of things you would build. This is one of my favourite. This is one of my favourites. You'll love this one. Who are we? Lovely name. Who are we? Clever. Clever. Who are we? Except you haven't gone for Hugh, GH. You've gone for who. They're the kind of things you would build if you had unlimited resources, manpower, and a complete understanding of where you are and how shit really works. You obviously don't have a complete understanding of how shit really works, do you? You suggest that if you did, you might build a great big star fort. No, when you've got a complete understanding of how things work, you build things like Dyson spheres to harvest the energy from around the sun. That's when you've got the complete understanding. When you've got unlimited resources, you don't need to harvest the energy around the sun, do you, if you've got unlimited resources? If you've got unlimited resources, you don't even need to defend anything, because you can just fuck off to use your other resources somewhere else. You don't even need to defend anything. If you've got unlimited resources, you can't lose. if you're in a war, just give them some resources. All right, do you want to trade? Do you want to have a peace treaty? I'll give you some resources. What do you want? I've got unlimited everything. What's valuable to you? Let's have some of that. Or I'll just blow you off the map with my unlimited resources. If you've got unlimited... Let's say if you've got loads of resources. Manpower, well, they had slaves, didn't they? They had slaves at one point, building things for them out of rock and stone, didn't they? They had the slaves. So if you've got unlimited resources, if you've got slaves, manpower, and a complete understanding of where you are and how shit really works, you'll be building these star forts. What? They're rudimentary defences against the early forms of explosive projectile. They're not... You wouldn't be building I keep swearing with these chuffers. You wouldn't be building one of these, would you? You'd be building skyscrapers and Dyson spheres and starships if you had unlimited resources and you knew everything. Get off. A mound of earth leaned up against a wall so that the cannonball don't go through the wall. Get off. Bill Bacon. Here, Bill Bacon. Doesn't have any content. Bill Bacon. These are symbols of truth. Oh, sorry. I should get this right. These are symbols of hidden truth in plain sight. Perhaps a wake-up call timed perfectly. Thank you, Campbell. What do you mean timed perfect? Oh, there's so much to dissect about that. What do you mean by timed perfectly? How is it timed perfectly? They've been there for ages, forever, since the 1600s, since before. There's been built, and then they've been knocked down, there have been new ones, and then some... You know, we went over there and built some there, and then the Spanish built some over here. They've been building them. The newest ones were built in the 1800s. What? Timely? How timely is that? It's spanned hundreds of years. It's not timed perfect, is it? It's not timed perfect to span a couple of hundred years. Ridiculous thing to say. Symbols of hidden truth in plain sight. So they're not hidden, are they, in plain sight? They're not hidden. That's not hidden, is it? It's right there for you to look at. They've drawn the pictures. They've taken the photographs. They've done the satellite images. There's no hiding it. It's one of the main things. Look, St. Peter, Netherlands, it's one of the main things up there on the hill. They're not hiding They're not hiding it, are they? Hidden in plain sight. These are the people that say things like that. Bill thinks he's smart. Bill thinks he's clever. Bill thinks he said something a bit clever there. And that's the level that they're on. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Bill, I would advise you to give up the thinking. It's not doing you any favours. Give up the thinking. Defer to people who can be trusted. Not these idiots on the internet. People like me. I'm an idiot on the internet who can be trusted. Bill, I'm going to save your life now. I'm going to save your life. Look into these things if you want. Probably don't. Bill, probably don't. Probably don't. It's just going to confuse you more. There's so much stuff that you can't work out in one sitting that you need layers of knowledge. Bill, I'd just give it up. When ignorance is bliss, Bill, it's a folly to be wise. Bill, I'd take up golf. I'd take up hockey. I'd do something else. I'd give up the thinking. Give up the drinking. If you drink, give up the drinking. Just get down to what makes you decently happy on a day-to-day level. You know, basic things. Not trying to convince people of funny ideas. Not giving your money and time to people with funny ideas himself. Just give it all up. Christian Park says, just as concentric castles had developed out of stone keep castles, thanks to development of siege technology, namely the emergence of counterweight trebuchet, I mentioned a trebuchet earlier, so too star forts evolved due to the evolution of gunpowder. So Christian is here. Christian, 21 hours ago you've been doing this. Christian, you deserve... You're vegan as well. No, isn't that weird? I was going to say you deserve a medal, Christian. You're out there doing the good work in little comments along the way. You're not just doing that. You've got an actual website. So I haven't seen Christian's work yet. You know, I'm just having a quick look. So I'm not going to suggest, oh, quick, everyone go and subscribe to Christian because he's great. Because I don't know anything about him. This is my first time meeting him. But I can see he's concerned with fitness, which is acceptable. You know, I did that documentary with Eddie Hall, The World's Strongest Man. I've got nothing against people trying to better themselves in a physiological way. Talking ethical whale watching, I like it. Vegans, I'm not so good on taste testing and stuff, but you know, he's out there, yeah, vegan, I'm vegan. Discussing the vegan difficult question, should vegans procreate? I'm happy with this as a content base. I'd be interested to watch some of these videos. It's out there in some interesting places. Showing you some interesting stuff. Cool. Look, isn't it weird the way I found someone who was spreading a positive message and it happens to be a vegan, just like me. Vegans. We're the switched on future. We're the truthers, the vegans. We're the ones that know what's going down. We're the ones. I'm going to throw a subscription there to Christian. Might come back and watch some of his stuff later. But I'm not here to critique Christian, so I'm not going to watch it now. But which is a bit weird, isn't it? I should revel in the things I find positive rather than what's the word? I want to say what pigs do. What do pigs do? Grovel in the truffle around in the muck. Anyway, check out Paul Cook on YouTube. That was Bill Bacon, wasn't it? Bill Bacon and Christian was replying there. Thanks, Christian. Thanks. There's a partial star fort in upstate New York, and it looks like a third of it was taken by the lake. Taken by the lake. Do you know what? My face is a little bit small in this corner. I'm feeling a little bit small. I'm going to big myself a bit. Embiggen myself. Taken by the lake. When you ask them about it, they deny it was a star fort. Who's them? Who are you asking? We can't verify anything. The oldest building looks like it was mud flooded because the doors are at ground level, but the basement is very deep. It's quite a common feature of basements, is that they go under the ground. When they were doing archaeology, they had to dig down 6 foot, like 6 foot, to get to whatever they were looking for. When you ask them about why the doors are still at ground level, they have no answers. I don't know how to unpack that. Who are they? Please tell us. Otherwise we can't verify or question any of what you said. But 3 people think that's, wow, good testimony. Something else that's interesting about this that I find baffling is Artie Brute. Yeah, unlike our friend Christian, right? Artie Brute here doesn't have a verifiable presence on the internet, does he? Like, we could see who Christian was because they've got this consistency in their videos. It's them, they're doing the fitness, you know, that's Christian. You can see who I am in my videos. Artie has actually got a video, silent meditation, 10 minutes of silent meditation, which is 10 minutes of silence. Minutes of silence. Could be an art project, but you know, how am I supposed to Artie Brute could be anyone. Artie Brute could be the government. Artie Brute could be one of those fake accounts, couldn't it? So how am I to verify any of that? I can't. So I look at things like that and I think, well, fuck that. I don't, you know, if I can't verify even who you are, I can't verify anything you say. It's not testimony. It's anecdotal bullshit written by somebody who might just be making it up. They might even be on the other side. You can't verify it. You just forget it. Just forget it. But there are 3 people who think that's good enough to give a like to. It's totally baffling. I see it all over the internet, all the time. I see a lot of comments on political things where people are, yes, good comment on the political thing. Not going to verify who you are or check your backstory or see that you're talking truth or shit, or that you didn't, you know, aren't just recently let out of prison for murdering someone, or you're not on the Republican board of evangelical Christians or whatever. I don't know anything. You could just be someone working in a call centre paid to make up shit. You could be someone's fake account trying to like promote their own ideas on their own webpage. But some people don't think like that. Some people just say, look, that's a real person. This is a real thing they've said. That's as far as I need to think. If you're not questioning who has written the YouTube comments that you are clicking like to, if you're clicking like to something that you can't possibly verify, or, you know, could quite easily be a fake account, someone misrepresenting themselves, if you click like to that, if you like that, you're an idiot. Don't click like to all that stuff. Only do what I do. Find out who these people are. Like with Christian, I didn't just say Christian's brilliant. Look, I like his comment. He's brilliant. I do like his comment. Look, he's done a lot of work there. A lot of work. I'm going to click that a like. But what I did is I followed through, didn't I? This is when people talk about research on the internet. It's not just good enough to look on Google. I then looked at Christian's thing. Okay, I can see who he is because he's being legitimately himself on the internet. It seems. I won't give him 100% because, of course, it always could be fake, couldn't it? But it seems, and it's my ability to perceive and critically think about the world is different to the people that fall into the Tartaria trap. So I'm able to put different pieces of evidence together quickly and use it as a kind of verification. And those things that I'm looking at are the authenticity, the difference, what I'm going to call variety in the content, but the consistency as well. And the fact that I can see it's the same person repeatedly, I'm going to say, you know, this starts to add up to feeling like something legit and authentic. Now, it doesn't have to be. You can fake this, but I've seen enough other, you know, I've got enough context to be able to put this in the category of most probably legit. And, you know, I can go deeper and I can find out how legit it is further. But I don't need to at this stage, do I? Don't really need to. It's just fair enough. It's not just seems legit, so it is, but it's given me enough to say yes, and no red flags. No red flags. Whereas Artie Brute, loads of red flags. Not even got your own real name, proper name, not even got your own picture, no content apart from a really weird video, and some stuff that's talking about people that aren't referenced, you can't see who they are or what they did this, they did that. You know, imagine this is a political video about Donald Trump and I write a comment and say, oh, I went to a Republican rally and they told me that you have to have your head cut off. They'd said that you have to have your head cut off. Who is they? I'm commenting on a Donald Trump video, so it might be the Republicans. Who am I? Is it truth? It's just bullshit. But you can't verify any of it, so it's just bullshit. But, you know, this is YouTube comments. This is the murky world of YouTube comments. What I find so incredible is there's design consonants. Agreement or compatibility between opinions or actions. The recurrence of similar sounding consonants in close proximity. I thought it was, because I thought it sounded like a linguistic term. A combination of notes which are in harmony. Agreement or compatibility between opinions. I think the word is being used out of... I shouldn't keep bringing that one open because that's a bad one for you to look at. That's for later. I shouldn't think that they're using this word in the correct context. But I don't know because I don't know the word. But they're saying that basically the designs are similar from one end of the earth to the other. What an idiot thing to say. The cultures that went and built those things were travelling the world. That's why people speak Spanish in South America and Spain. Because the Spanish people went there. That's why you speak English in America or Australia. It's not incredible that there's that similarity because we know how it happened. We went there. That's us. So the design is similar because Michelangelo started designing this thing. They all started looking at it and saying, this is good. Have you seen their thought? We better design them like that. That's the done thing. Cars are very similar, aren't they, around the world? Cars are similar. There's a design consonance in cars. It's amazing. It's amazing. What I find so incredible is design consonants from one end of the earth to the other among these stars. This implies that whoever made them was without doubt a seafaring culture. Are you a fucking idiot?
Here's a piece that is actually the result of setting some verses to music that I had found on a...
Not going to play their songs because songs will get, you know, they're all songs. Okay, it's nice that you like music. Nothing wrong with being a nice... See, this is a real person. See what I mean? Now we can see this is a real person. We can see the person behind the comment. Artistic, lovely. Bit cluttered, fine. It's very similar to me. I love the... Is that a viola or a violin with the sunset on it? Lovely. Quite happy with all that.
And thought of a waltz that he used to play and recorded actually in particular. His name was Lonnie Robertson. Quite an astonishing fiddle player. He played with quite a healthy dose of aggression and machismo.
So this guy, you know, I like his style. I like the music and stuff. I don't like his ideas. I don't like the way his mind seems to work. I worry about him, and I mean, I can't judge someone's character and nature for the fact they like violins, so I'm not going to judge him on his character and nature for the fact he likes violins. You know, you sometimes see, this is something I find really baffling as well, that is part of this world, is you'll see people that like the vegan, I'm a vegan, I said it earlier, oh, he's vegan, oh great, we've got something in common, but you'll see people that like at the vegan fair, or it happens with smoking weed. Oh, are you smoking weed? Oh, can I have a go? No, fuck off. I don't go to someone eating their dinner and ask if I can have their sandwiches. Oh, are you smoking weed? Can I have a puff? Aren't we mates now? Because I also smoke weed. No, just because you smoke weed and I smoke weed doesn't mean that our lives are symbiotic. I don't want your germs on my... No, I don't make this to share it in the same way as I don't... you can't come around and watch my telly, or like I'm not going to give you some of my money out of my pocket. I'm drinking a can of pop. Do you want a sip on that? I don't go up to strangers in the street and say, can I have a sip on your Coke? Can I have a sip on your... Are you drinking coffee? Oh, I like coffee as well. We're coffee brothers. Can I have a go on your coffee? Fuck off. Like, why do people think, in this context as well, I mean, you're vegan or whatever, you're vegan fairs, you're hippy dippy, you like violins, you're artistic, you must be a nice person. You can't be a rapist. You must be a nice person. Oh, have you seen that? They've got the dreads and the hippie, and they're in the park and they're smoking weed. Oh, you know, we're anti-cultural, we're anti-society. Oh, okay, then we're not going to steal from you then. They're not going to steal from you. They're the nice people. Oh, you play a violin? I like your paintings. Oh, I'm prepared to trust you then. Like, that's weird to me. The outward symbols, you know, the things you wear, the things you show, they're not who you are deep down. They're not your values and your ethics. They're just objects. And, okay, you like music, I like music. Like, we're human. But is that where the similarity ends? Because Like, it could get murky, couldn't it, if you just took people on face value. So I'm going to say ups and downs here. I think he seems like a nice guy from his YouTube channel. I think he seems like a nice guy from his YouTube channel. But and I'm not here to, I'm not the judge, am I? I'm not the judge. But what I am judging is his intelligence based on his YouTube comment, because that's what this is the ballpark. You want to enter the arena, you want to stand in front of the gladiators, it's time to swing swords, right? This is the ballpark. We're talking about facts about Tartaria mudfloods. Oh my god, look at the size of the comment. So the basis is, we're looking at these pictures of star forts. They're all over the world. We know how they were built between the 1600s and onwards. Probably before then with Michelangelo. We've got all that in our mind. I didn't explain the stonemasonry to you, but we know these things were going on, right? So what blows this guy's mind? The fiddler, the adult fiddler. He's not a kiddie, is he? He's not a kiddie fiddler. He's an adult fiddler. I don't know anything about his life, so I don't know whether he fiddled as a kiddie or whether he's just an adult fiddler. This implies that whoever made them was without doubt a seafaring culture and able to sail around the world at will. Well, fucking yes. That's what I just said. We were, and we did. Well done, humanity, on sailing around the world. Based on old maps, we know that many stars were in existence at least as long as ago, the 1700s. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we know that. But you don't know that, Tartarians, because you don't accept the old maps exist, because they're the fake history, remember. And very likely long before that, yes. The English, the Spanish and the Portuguese were all seafaring cultures, yes. As well as the Romans and several others, yes. Not so much the Romans, actually. They weren't seafaring in the same way. They were able to cross seas, but they weren't seafaring in the same way. But they did have naval aspects to their culture. They were a lot more land-based, but we had proper navies, the English, the Spanish, the Portuguese later on, yeah. But the design consonants, again, it's that clever he's got a clever word. He likes it. He said it twice. That's not clever. To say the same thing twice is not clever. It's repetitive, so it's bad. It's bad. What's the word I'm looking for? See, I'm not doing the words so well, which is funny because I'm critiquing words. Where's my... Oh, I want my huff of vapour. I want my smoky vapour, and I can't see it. Oh, Scotty Hottie, no smoky vaping for me. Oh, there it is. If you use the same thing twice, trying to sound clever like that, it shows that you don't have a... like a thesaurus is an alternative to the word. You don't have another word to explain the same thing. So you're actually not that smart because you're just using the same thing over and over. You've got one clever thing, but not many. The design consonant strongly suggests one overarching civilization. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Just because one design is good, so we all adopt it, doesn't mean there's one civilization, does it? Like, right now, we haven't got one overarching civilization, don't you? They're different in China than they are here, aren't they? But we drive similar cars. Planes are not dramatically redesigned from culture to culture. I'm trying to think of another time when we could more clearly see that we don't have an overarching civilization, but things end up being... I mean, for example, Aborigines made chairs and stools in a similar way to we make chairs. There'll be lots of things that cultures are completely separate, have no knowledge of each other, but come up with a similar design solution to a problem. This is different though, because we've got a world that was interconnected, where the Portuguese were fighting with the British, where we were seeing their castles being built. We had spies in there. We could see the plans, and everyone knew everything. It's a bit like having the internet and saying it's a surprise that things look similar on other web pages around the world, but you can see them, so it's no surprise. If you had heard of the Piri Res map circa 1500 or so, it's believed to have been drawn from scores of even earlier seafaring maps. That's all the maps. Don't be an idiot again. Don't be naive. What happens with all the maps of that time were that cartographers would not literally have gone around the world on their own, looking at it from the sky, drawing the maps. Cartographers their whole job, their whole thing was to take other people's maps and sort of put them in and say, this is, okay, so someone's done a little bit of a mapping of that area, we'll put that into my big map now. Can I have all the maps of Britain? They all look different. Okay, I'm going to make one that's the definitive now, and it's going to be the right one, and I'm going to ask questions and do research, but generally I'm going to have to take a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of that. Like, that's how maps were drawn. All of them. So it's no surprise that one was, because all of them were. It's a depiction of an ice-free Antarctic coast, and again, it's no surprise that in the 1400s they made errors in those maps. They used to draw fucking sea monsters on them. Here be dragons. Like, they weren't really dragons. They just made mistakes. They had tellings of. They had to listen to the people on the boats that had gone there. They had to take their word as testimony. They couldn't literally fly over Antarctica, so they didn't know. So they just, made it up a bit. And what do you think, with your 3 exclamation points, that proves? Bottom line, somebody in capital letters was traversing every continent, every ocean, every mile of the earth. No, that's otherwise they'd have got the Antarctic correct. In some ways, somebody was traveling around all these places, because there were native people. Until we got to Australia, it didn't mean we hadn't discovered humanity. There were people there. Yeah, like in some way you could say that about human history. There's always been someone somewhere having a look and going around. But really, with the ocean faring, until we got properly ocean faring in those 1600s, 1700s, in the 15th, 16th, 14th century, I suppose, maybe before, but until we got more consistent with it, I'd say, yes, you had people, they might end up somewhere. Like Columbus might have thought he was in India, but actually he was America. They might have ended up somewhere. There might have been someone going somewhere. But it doesn't mean they're there like, rocket ships to Mars, landing and taking off and coming back and travelling. And otherwise we'd have the evidence of some sort of infrastructure. Because if you think there was that, like the size of the... there's more people on Earth now than there were then. Dramatically more. Do you know that? There's a lot more people on Earth than there were now. Now there are than there were then. And so you don't see this evidence of this wide global seafaring. Like, there were people travelling, but it wasn't what you suggest. And I don't know why you'd think it had to be, because these star forts would have been fucking useless against that. They had astounding engineering capability. Well, they didn't. They built star forts, especially when you consider the remoteness of the star fort locations. They're not that remote. They're the first place you hit from the sea. That's why they built them there. They're not remote. Like well inland up a mountain. They're the first place you hit from the sea. They're not remote. You're getting confused, mate. We have to wonder how in hell these guys were able to move earth, dig massive moats, quarry and cut stone to precise dimensions. Like, we don't have to wonder that. They were doing it in Egypt. Manpower, labour. Slave labour in the main, in the more modern. But labour. And quarry and cutting stone, really easy. Chisels. We had the Stone Age. Do you remember the Stone Age? Have you heard of the Stone Age? We've been doing it since then. Prehistoric, mate. They transported the stone to the site. No roads, where surely no roads existed to speak of. Wow. And then to construct these massive designs with mathematical fractal perfection. They're not mathematically fractal. We've looked at them in this video and seen that that is not mathematically fractal perfect. It's nothing like it. And the fact they're all very different yet eerily similar just blows my mind. Why? Everyone was making their own slightly different version of them based on their own geography and defence needs. Why does it blow your mind that they're all different yet similar? You want to go for a walk and look at some houses, they'll fucking blow your mind. It's incredible the way these houses are different yet similar, isn't it? The prevailing narrative about these stars is complete bullshit. No, everything you've written's bullshit, and I've explained why. El Rio Violino. This man is struggling to understand the world. This man is struggling to understand the world. And thank God he doesn't have much... Well, actually, he does have a bit of a say in it. He gets to vote in one of the most powerful free market democracies. So he does get a bit more of a say than the average Chinese person. He does get a bit more of a say in a way, doesn't he? He lives in this abject Western luxury. Abject Western luxury. compared to, like, you know, starving kids in Africa or the Syrian kids. You know, he gets a bit more of a say. What does he do with his luxury, with his time on Earth? What's he doing to benefit? He plays the violin. He's got fat. He's got overweight. Look, I mean, I'm not being rude. He is overweight. Yeah, he is overweight. So he's sat at home playing his fiddle, fiddling. He's sat at home fiddling with himself, putting on weight. I mean, why don't you do some charity work? Why don't you go out and... Maybe you do. Maybe you're a really good person. I don't know. But it feels like your energy is being misplaced if you're into conspiracy theory, fiddling with yourself, and sitting out, putting on weight, getting old. Seems like your vocation might have been missed. You know, it seems like you could do more with your life to... Rather than just experience violins... Seems like you could be doing more with yourself. But then again, maybe it's better you don't. Maybe it's better you just keep quiet because you've got the wrong end of the stick. Easily bamboozled, easily confused. You, El Violino, what you're good for is fueling Autodidactic. Getting Autodidactic some more money, some more clicks, some more views. Promoting this rubbish instead of making people's lives better around the world. That's what's bullshit to me. Busy doing this, look. Big comment on that. Kate Emma says, always enjoy your videos, Cam. Another great one, especially coming as it does as I am. It's hard to read because it doesn't... The sentence constructor, the super segmental feature of the spoken English might work spoken, but written, it's very confusing. Especially coming as it does, I'm currently collecting a record of all places that were star formations. It's surprising just how many have been scrubbed from the landscape, but there were thousands, literally thousands. I'm using old maps where they're depicted and have found some beauty showing them in the UK, Ireland, Portugal and many other places. It's very time consuming, but there were so many and canals that it's without the canals that crisscross large sections of the countryside. That doesn't make sense. And what you want to do, Kate, I'll tell you now, what you want to do is just give up this. Stop it immediately. You're wasting your time on something that is completely unnecessary, because if you want to go and buy the book, remember we googled Starfort book. If you want to go and buy the book about the history of the star forts, it's out there. There's loads of books on them. There's web pages on them. In fact, these are not the books. These are not the books we're looking for. There's loads of books you're looking for, like deserted bastions, fallen bastions. You're going to be forever trying to catalogue these things because there are fucking loads of them. And if the way you're cataloguing them is just to like look on the internet, go through some old maps, you're going to be forever. Use these history books. Use the actual lists of bastions already recorded. Let's find it. I bet I can find you a list of bastions. No, not nations, bastions, mate. There you go, look. There's a list of them. Emma, your life is a lie. Here is the list. You're not going to be able to complete this list, Emma, on your own, looking at maps, because this is the cumulative work of the internet. This is all the people around the world looking at the maps, putting it all together. So there's your list. Why on earth, Emma? Why on earth, sorry, Kate, Emma. Why on earth, Kate, are you using old maps and wasting your time, literally wasting your time? You say it takes a long time. It's very time consuming. But there were so many, and canals, that without the canals that crisscross large sections of the countryside, you mean that sentence. I wish I could understand your sentence. I wish I could understand it. But yeah, The work involved in their creation is staggering, considering we only see the very tops of most today. That's because you only saw the tops before because they put mud against them to protect them. That's what they were. Despite your hours and hours of despite your time-consuming research, you still don't even understand the basics about what you're looking at. Some appear flush. They've just been covered with layers of mud. Think of how many hours it would have taken to dig out the outer parts. They would not have dug out the outer parts. They would have dug and put them... The fucking point is that they're covered... If they dug them out, they wouldn't work. But then to have built up the angled walls, which are meters thick and make perfect designs over a large area, is jaw-droppingly amazing. It's not amazing to make designs, and they're not perfect. This isn't some... It's like the people who believe crop circles are clever because they don't understand how you can use a bit of string and a plank. So, Emma, please, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. She's got subscribers with no videos. That's weird. Kate Emma. Is that a dragon of... I don't know if it's a Welsh dragon in white on red. This is it. It's the dragon flag of England. I didn't know that. The white dragon of England. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? The Wessex flag. So is she in England? Am I to assume by her... Or does she think, is that Welsh? That she's confused. But yeah, she's wasting her time in her life on this shit. And this is exactly the sort of person that Autodidactic wants. Someone who's prepared to spend hours and hours drawing up a list of bastion forts when there already is a list of bastion forts. Very handy. And the list of bastion forts here is the one that this chuffer has used to grab their pictures off. This is Google Pictures, isn't it? It's Google image search. All they've done is put together 15 minutes of pictures from Google image search of bastion forts. I could do that. Any of us could do that. It's rubbish. It means nothing. There's nothing behind it. There's no substance behind it. Autodidactic has made a rubbish video. And down here, Kate is so taken with it that she's spending hours and hours of her own time. Well, not. She was already spending hours and hours of her own time collecting pictures from old maps, which is a waste of her time. And then she's seen this video, right? And she's thought, oh, brilliant. Look, I'll make a comment. I'm enjoying it. I'm using my old maps. The work is staggering. Just think of how many hours. It's amazing. It's more amazing to think how they built the Empire State Building, isn't it? It's more amazing to think how they built, I don't know, the Shard in London. Or it's probably more amazing to think how they built my chuffing house that I'm in right now compared to that. I've got plumbing and... Like they're just walls. They're just walls. Pointy walls on a hill. Not perfectly anything, just pointy walls on a hill. Emma's blown away though. Kate Emma here is blown away. 3 replies. Pre-flood architecture. I anxiously await your findings. Bill's anxious now. He anxiously awaits your findings, Kate. I've mentioned before I would like to compare locations of cathedrals and star formations with mud-flooded areas, like placing one map over another. Well, again, what you're going to find is that all of these star formations, all over the country, all over the globe, they're going to be in places where you're going to have cathedrals as well. I'll tell you why. They're not going to be one over the other, but they're going to be the places they wanted to protect. Why do they want to protect them? Because that's where they fucking lived. So... the church was there as well. Yeah, you're going to get this convergence of urbanization and defense. That's what we do. It's like saying I'd be surprised if we found any Burger Kings in... I'd be surprised if we found a Burger King in New York, because I know they've got McDonald's, and you tend to find McDonald's next to Burger King. I'm going to have to place one map on front of another to see if there's a correlation. Well, it's because people like burgers, and it's like, of course there's a correlation. There are people there. You build the forts to defend the cathedral. Amen to that, and do soil core sampling to see if it's a mud flood filled in or other. It's just ridiculous. But Bill, if you want to compare locations of cathedrals and mud-flooded areas and maps, you've got the internet. It is easy. It is easy. It's so obvious we didn't... Oh, this is capitals. Christian B is one of these full capitals. It's so obvious we didn't build these. Well, we didn't know they were built in history before us, you chuffer. Like, you didn't build it, I didn't build it. They were power stations of some type. No, they weren't. It's clear they weren't. There's nothing to do with power in any of them. No one has suggested it on this video. There are no suggestions of it through the photographs, nor in the historical record. It's just a ridiculous thing to suggest. More than ridiculous. Stupid. But again, that's perfect. That's perfect. You're the person we need on the Tartaria team, because stupid people like you will give your time and money to people that lead you down the dark rabbit hole of stupidity. That's what it is. And if you don't like me for saying it, so what? I'm not you. I don't care about you. I don't know you. I'm not being rude to you because I'm mean to you, because I'm mean to you and personal to you. It's not ad hominem. I looked at Bill, looked at who he was. You know, I looked at our not kiddie fiddler, adult fiddler, the chubby fiddler. I looked at them and was able to, you know, say a few things about them. But honestly, I don't even know them. If they're watching this and they think, God, he's such an arsehole to me, I'm going to fight him, I hate him. Don't. I'm doing you a favour. I'm saving your life. I might come across a bit condescending, but it's easy because this is so stupid. I might come across a bit of a cock, but it's easy because this is so stupid. But what we're really doing is saving your life. You're falling for the Nigerian prince scheme. Go and have a walk. Don't be personally vindictive against me. Think about the ideas that I'm sharing. Think about the ideas that I'm sharing. Think about the ideas. Are you being bamboozled by somebody with marketing on the internet? Somebody with a funny story that takes your attention. And do they get something out of it? Do they gain something out of your attention? Are they getting clicks? Are they getting social status from it? Are they selling a book or some merchandise? You want to think that through carefully. It's so obvious we didn't build these and there were power stations. Sometimes the materials and the ability to make something so well made and sophisticated. A lot of them have pump rooms and different things below. That's in case they flood because they're next to the sea. And something tells me they removed something. Yeah, some of the earth when they dug it out. I guess a deeper study would attempt to correlate star forts with prominent ley lines. No, well, probably not, because ley lines... Oh my God. Ley lines were simple navigation points before we had complex navigational tools. So if you want to go from Stratford to Warwick, yeah, from where I live to the next place along, it's as the flow cries, it's over there. But I don't know exactly where it is, so I could just start walking in the wrong direction. Even though I know it's over there, I could miss it. But luckily, there's a big windmill on the hill. So that's the windmill. That's a straight line to there. That's my ley line. And I'll follow that all the way across the country. There'll be another windmill. There'll be something else along the line, Warwick. Or why don't we build the next city in line with this one? It'll make life easier for us. It's that sort of thing. Historic straight line paths across the country, which were either used for geographical navigation, or even once they were used for geographical navigation, they then started putting things on the ley lines to help with that, including places to live, and they built up that way. So they've got nothing to do with ley lines. Don't be ridiculous. I don't know enough about ley lines to do this. I do. You're an idiot, but I don't know if you're real or not. You're just a person commenting on the internet. But there must be some connecting sinew between them all. Heck, even the drawings look as if designed by the same person or small cut. They were all the drawings looked similar because at that time, not everyone could draw. Not everyone could own the materials to draw. Only certain echelons of society were educated enough to draft cartography. And that's why they drafted the cartography in similar styles with similar materials, you fool. Won't it be hard to determine the ley line correlations if most of the star forts have been bombed into oblivion? The star forts haven't been bombed into oblivion, and we can still see them all here. That's why we've got this video. It won't either be... I mean, the ley lines they're not still apparent on the geography either. It's not what is still physically able to be seen. It's what we know existed in history. So no, it won't be hard to correlate that if there is a correlation, because we still have the historical records of both. Michelle Gibson has videos about these connections. She's an idiot. She's a famous idiot. She's one of the idiots that I pick on. Unfortunately, I'm not drawn to Michelle's presentational materials, but I'll still check it out. Yeah, there's a reason you're not drawn to Michelle's stuff, because this that I keep mistakenly showing you is one of hers. A circuit, sports circuit. Michelle thinks And she asked, I mean, we're going to do this in a different upload, but in a different episode, she thinks that electric circuits, right, get this, electric circuits, this will blow your mind, electric circuits and sporting circuits, this will blow your mind. She thinks electric circuits and sporting circuits, the act of running around a running track has something to do with power and electricity. I haven't even looked into this yet. An S-port field. A sport field is an S-port field, of course. Hidden in plain sight. What's a pitch? Well, it must be a pitch, mustn't it? It must be a pitch. You chuffing malignant. Either she's an idiot or she's deliberately making up confusing ideas to confuse people. And that's how you do it, isn't it? Nigerian print scam. Get them confused, start making the money. You chuffing idiot. Christian Parks has made his comment here. It's the sensible comment. Well done, Christian. Jason Carlisle, though, says, I'm just going to go to my horse-drawn carriage and fetch some wood and make this massive, perfectly geometrical star fort that only makes sense when seen from above. He's suggesting that in the time that they made this, they only had horse-drawn carriages and wood. But what a thick, dumbass, ridiculous thing to say. You actually exist. You're a real person. Oh, great. Sorry, Jason. I'm sorry. I said what you said was thick. I'm not saying you are thick. But you will note, right, that when we had horse-drawn carriages, horse carts, like they've been going for a while, yeah? They've been going for a while, but horse carts, stone masonry, but so is stone masonry, and the two exist together. This is going to blow your fucking mind. They used to use the carts to transport the stone. And we're going way back, you know, we're going like Ottoman Empire, we're going Egyptians. So there you go. Before Christ, stone and wood masonry symbiotically used. I mean, what more do you want than carts, images of carts? Not allowed to use photographs, remember. This is no evidence for some people. This is no evidence of some people. But this is the Quarry Caves in Dorset. This isn't even far away. You can actually, well, you don't live in England, maybe I do, I don't know. But you can find out all about it. You can go there. You know, you've got photos of it. The photos don't count, remember. But it exists, it's real, and it's the symbiosis of... That's a horse-drawn cart there, and it's carrying a block of stone, right? Jason, that will blow your mind. Playing the piano there again. You know, someone plays. I think that's cool. I like the piano. Does this mean he's not a dangerous rapist? No, it doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying he's a dangerous rapist, but I'm saying I don't know anything about the lad. And just because he's got a YouTube channel that does something that I like, doesn't mean that I have to trust everything. I don't know, and I'm not here to judge. What I am judging is the inanity of that comment, like the level of that comment. That's what I was judging. Yeah, I'm not going to play his music because it would be probably copyright, you know. But every time I come here, I have to listen to that pumping shit. That music that Didactic has selected from Google Free Music Library on their Google Images search of Google. It's just Google. But Jason here has said, he's being... You see, the thing is, Jason's being like snide. He's like, I'm just going to go and get my horse-drawn carriage and fetch some wood and make this massively, perfectly geometrical star fort. No one could do... You see how clever I am with my comment? He's being clever in his comment. But he's not clever. It's the opposite. It's dumb. So we've seen that it's dumb. I've shown you that it's dumb. Jason, if you're watching, I'm sorry I'm calling you dumb, but you're being dumb on the internet. Please remove your comment. Please rethink these ideas. Do some more research, whatever. Or a better idea is don't get involved, because you haven't got the capability. You're not the one with the tools. So don't get involved. Stay out of it. Go and play the fucking piano. Make yourself happy by doing things. Don't get into this. These ideas are not going to make you happy. They're going to confuse you until they've got a bit of your money, and then they're happy. But you're going to be left confused, talking shit. People that you know are going to think you're talking shit. It's going to be part of a negative cycle for you. Stunning collection, especially the one on timestamp, 1227. Does anyone know? That's not how you timestamp. You have to use the semicolon. So well done for not understanding how to use the internet. Does anyone know where it is? See, it's not referenced, is it? So even though you think it's good, you'll notice that it's not been referenced and you don't know where it is, so you can't confirm if it even exists. You don't care though, you think it's stunning. What a way to put the information together. I don't think I've seen this one before. I'd love to find out more about this beauty. Thanks, Campbell, for all your content. Campbell hasn't replied to you because he doesn't care. He's not going to help you to determine things. He's there to confuse you. Great video. Again, there's this familiar punched in the guts feeling I get every time I delve into this topic. It's just incredible what you're uncovering. Amazing work. Don't be stupid. That's generic bullshit anyway. It doesn't mean anything. It's just like, oh, you're good, you're nice, you're good, oh, I like you, you're good. Well done you, you've done good, oh, you're good. Blow smoke up you on the comments. That's another reason I don't reply to comments, actually. Is I don't reply to comments that don't need replying to, that are just nice things. Okay, thanks. Like, obviously I say thanks, but I don't even read them. But if it's something serious, like I'm depressed and I'm thinking of suicide, I reply to that. I make videos about it, put it on Mental Health Monday. So you are being heard, but I just don't, what's the point in me wasting my time on comments? I'm making videos you can watch. Amazing video. It'd be cool to see all these star fort locations on one map. Well, again, I don't know if this list has been what's the word? You know, I want to say congregated. There is a word for it. Cartographers were doing it earlier. I don't know if it's been turned into a big map, but you know, there they all are. And what you can do if you want, you know, if you're bored, right? So you think it'd be amazing to see, this is something else that baffles me about these people, is they think it would be amazing to see all these places on a map, yeah? It's my house. Come around if you want, you chuffers. They think it'd be brilliant to see it on a map. Well, what you can do, because of the internet, because of technology, you don't have to sit on your arse, right? You don't have to sit on your arse, Jacob, just watching other people's videos. You don't have to sit on your arse. You can be part of this world. Okay, Jacob? You don't have to think that the world is beyond you and that it couldn't be done, or maybe you should do it. Maybe you know, maybe Autodidactic should do it. Didactic's not going to bother. They're not going to bother. They just go on Google images. But what you could do, if you were bothered, yeah, and I'll show you, you go on Google Maps, yeah, and if you want to make a marker on it, like you can pick somewhere, you can put a marker, right? Like you can add markers to it. You know, like GPS and stuff like that. So you can set up a Google Maps, you can do your own one, you can get a map and do it by hand, or you can use the internet. I'm sure there's other programs even that allow you to mark and you know, let me see if there's another program if you don't like Google, because you probably don't like Google, even though it's being used by the people you do like as evidence for the things you agree with. Maps I can pin mark. My Maps, there you go, pin maps net. So you can do your own one on something different. You create it, you put all your pins in, start adding the pins, and then you've done it. Then you've done it. And then you don't have to just wonder what it would be like if there was one of those in the world. You don't have to live in a world where you wait for other people to do things for you, or, you know, it'd be cool to see it, but you never will. Unless you get off your arse and fucking do it yourself. And it's so easy to do. So easy to do. There's the list, and then there's the program with the maps. So it'd take you probably an afternoon just to go through that. But probably more, actually, because this list is quite extensive, wouldn't it? If you're not that, switched on, it's going to be a bit difficult for you. But no, it wouldn't be hard, because they've given you all the geographical coordinates on that list, and you can just put it in Google. It'd be really easy. Wow, Campbell, very professional video. The music with these beautiful geometric images really works. Thanks for your time and effort. Now that's blow smoke up his arse and talk shit comment. The music's shit. The music's rubbish, and it's just the standard Google free music you can put over a video, because Campbell don't care. The music is not really working. If you knew anything about editing and production, you'd realise this music doesn't work with these images. You ready? We're going to hear it again. Oh, that music does not fit these images. It does not fit the style and pace of the video. It's shit. But Sunny Shine's going to shine Campbell on with his, I think it's brilliant, got my beard on the go. I think it's brilliant. You want to Sunny Shine? They're the people you want. Sunny Shine, why don't you sign up to my website? Why don't you give me money? I can confuse you with all sorts. I'm not even trying to confuse you. I'm trying to help you, Sunny. Forget this shit. Check out my work. My work's got much better music with much better images. Scarcities are stars in the sky. Sorry, star cities are stars. Star cities, one word, are stars in the sky. The sky is a reflection better than water, especially with natural energy coming from the earth. The dome reflects all. Just leave me alone on that one. Just stay away from me. You can't come around my house. You're completely off the map. You're fucking Fruit Loops, mate. You're fucking Fruit Loops. Get a grip. You've been inspired by Colm Gibney's latest Starthought videos. He's up to part 11. Yeah, this is what happens though, isn't it? One of these idiots will make some videos. It'll get a bit popular. And another one will say, they're getting views on that. Oh, I'll do the same. I'll just rip a load of Google Earth and just stick it in a 10-minute video. There you go. Yeah, probably was. Yeah. And he's got a huge database of Google Earth pushpin locations. So someone is figuring it out, but you're doing it on Google Earth. So obviously the people and the powers that be run Google Earth. So that's a fake map with fake. Why are you using their fake stuff to prove your own point? What's going on? Serious techno raving. Now you know you've got an idiot, because if you're in the raves, you should be at the drum and bass, and you should have moved on through garage. If you're still stuck in techno, you're missing the point. Techno is the worst room. Okay, I'd go in there for a bit of Marky G maybe, but techno is the worst room. It's dumb. Doom, 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 dum, 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 dum. It's because there's no clever creativity in the music that the dumb people like it. Very slow progressions and changes. Drum and bass is clever. Drum and bass is eclectic. It's clever. No, techno. I'm only being facetious here. I'm trying to be a bit comedic there. So if you don't like it and you love techno, don't be mean about me. How were they getting such accurate aerial drawings of these forts and their surroundings in 1600? They were drawing the plans. They drew the plans. They drew them first and then built them. I mean, it's like they had a theodolite. They did. A theodolite is just a tool. So this is the modern theodolite. You know, a tool for measuring distances and geometric lines and angles, and you've seen them out when they're doing their charted surveying, measuring ground angles and slope and all that. But this is going to blow your mind. It wasn't always a digital tool. Theodolite 1600. There you go. These are simple theodolites from the 1600s. Are they? They better be. Now they're modern ones again. They had like mechanisms. There you go. Okay, this one's signed circa 1600. There you go. There you go then. That's official. Brass, it's in Prague if you want to go and mess with it. It's been recorded The maker was Erasmus Habermas. They had thalidomide. I can't even say the word now. Theodolites. So, I mean, it's like they had a theodolite. Are you that stupid that you can't use Google to find out that they actually did? So your comment is like, well, like they couldn't have done this because they didn't have that. They did. Now that I've proved that, if you are serious techno raven, if that is you, don't be angry at me. Okay, I've said you're stupid. You feel bad. I get it. But you put that on the internet. You put it there, and it is stupid. You can see why, because I just Googled it and showed you they did. So, don't I feel stupid now? If that's your feeling, don't be angry at me. Just bear in mind, I'm here to say, don't get confused and bamboozled by these devils. These people, these devils. Autodidactic is the devil trying to confuse you. What they want is to make you confused. They already have done. You already are. And why do they want that? So that you click on their website, so you buy their jumper, their merchandise, so you subscribe to their channel, so they get the views, and they've got marketing. They've got marketing to help them get advertising clicks. That's what they're doing. It's a con. It's a simple con, and it's so simple, they made it simple. They used Google Earth, and they used this shit, because the thinking people would say, well, you can't use that as, that's the exact stuff you say isn't evidence. You can't use Google Earth. The thinking people would say that. The dumb people don't. The people who sign up to the Nigerian print scam, they've said, wait, take my money, sign me up. This is my bank details. You, techno-raving, are falling for the Nigerian print scam. You're handing over your bank details to the most dumb people on the internet because you're slightly more dumb. Now, it is upsetting. I get it. It is upsetting. I have to listen to calm, relaxing music to keep myself calm through these broadcasts. It is upsetting. But don't be too upset. Just discard their rubbish and start following me. I'm not asking you for money. I don't care about YouTube clicks. I haven't got monetization on this channel yet. But, I mean, I do care about money. I do care. But I'm not here to twist you so that you pay me the money. That's not what's happening here. I'm trying to build a media product so that I can develop enough to get a sponsor, so that I can take the weight off my subscribers and put it onto a sponsor. But, you know, that's for a future time. But what I'm saying is follow me. I'll lead you into truth, real truth, actionable truth, things you can do to help your life. And discard this rubbish. These people don't have your best interests at heart. They don't care about you. I'm proving it here. I'm proving it here. Where are we up to? I mean, I can't keep... do you need any more of these? I'm just going to pick out any that are particularly good then. This one's funny. Thanks for preserving these gems of humanity undiscovered. They're not undiscovered. They're recorded. There's a lot of, you know, happy comment here. Jeff says he feels so young again, finding out all this information and forgetting all the lies. Sounds like you've developed a case of senility. My question is, do they still function as designed, whatever the function may have been? Yes, George, they do still protect you from cannon fire. But, thankfully, no one is firing cannons. So, there you go. They may have been atmospheric power stations, since they seem to be located where there is underground water and gas seams. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're located on the coast. Obviously, the old technology is not working properly. I love stars, can't get enough of them. You know, all you fuckers, you should all be on my channel commenting. Even if you don't like me, you should at least be commenting on my channel. I should be able to corral all these idiots, shouldn't I? Maybe I should start making my own conspiracy videos. I think I might have to see if they can spot it, and then at the end say, oh, it was all a big lie. But then they'll say, no, it wasn't a big con job. You got coerced by the government. Now you're on their side. So I'd have to make the video to say it was a lie first, put it out there first, and then do the whole thing. They'd probably still believe it because they don't spot Google Earth. They're happy with Google Earth as a, I could do what I like. I can do what I like. Really interesting one today then. I'm not going to push any harder than that. I'm going to go through a few things though that I want to point out and talk to you about. That's me, Ganji Kid. If you're struggling, now listen, I've been mean on the internet today to people. If you're those people, check out Mental Health Monday, see a different side to me. I'm not a mean person. This stuff gets me riled up. It gets me angry that people are being mean to you by confusing you with bad ideas just for their own benefit. This is a website, Google. This is a web page on Google. This is Mental Health Monday. Check us out. We do good work. We do good work. And check out, the rest of the stuff on my channel. It's interesting. It's fun. I'm an impulsive variety streamer. So I do all sorts of stuff. You'll see Pokemon. We went through that for a bit. We talked about cameras one episode. I've got VR games. A bit of gaming is a bit of a thing. So we upload all our Twitch stuff here as well. So this is a stream archive of that. But also, chat. If you want to chat, we can chat. We talked about Tyson Fury. We talked about therapists online. All sorts of stuff. You suggest things, we'll talk about them. It's fine. It's fine. Come and be part of it. Come and be part of this conversation. I'm going to be the expert on Tartaria. I'm the one that you want to listen to. I'm the one that's going to lead you to positive things. I'm the one that's offering you actionable mental health support because I know you're suffering. I know you are. If you come into this Tartaria shit, I know you're suffering. Even Martin himself has admitted to suffering. I'm even here to try and help Martin. So, follow me. I'll lead you out to the other side where saints march in. I'm the right one. I'm the real one. I'm the archangel. The others are devils. And the devils come in clothing to confuse you. The wolves come in sheep's clothing. Well, I'm straight up. I'm outright. I'm real. So we're going to bin off these forts. We know all about them now. I wanted to show you something else. It's a bit sad. And I want to do this. I should have done it at the start of the episode. I'm going to do it at the start of the next episode as well. Because I don't know what's going on. I want to reach out to Welsh Dragon Metals. I might cut this and just do it as a little YouTube, Twitch thing. So I might try and cut it and do it as a Twitch. Welsh Dragon Metals, what's going on? Welsh Dragon Metals is Martin's son, as far as I can understand. I've only seen it through the prism of the videos. And Welsh Dragon Metals and Martin were having a good time. Do you remember in our video about Martin's party? Here they are.
It's an endless game between the King Cobra and the Lotus King. Open your Shambhala and see.
Yeah. They were showing a hotel room before the big Flat Earth conference. Martin introduces us to his son in this video, doesn't he?
Absolutely, got up to shower and everything because we was out. So we're absolutely fucking starving. So I'm waiting for breakfast, but it's fucking 45 minutes. Me, just tech.
I don't know why I missed that bit. I'm sure he was in it. Sure he's in it.
And we're Lawrence. Say hi, Law. Hi.
There he is, Lawrence's son. Yep. So that's Welsh Dragon Metals. Welsh Dragon Metals, I looked on the YouTube. It's got some interesting videos about metal, electricity, physics. It's like actual science. It's not rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's not interesting to the normal people. It's interesting to people who are interested in this stuff, maybe. Messing with LCDs and learning about circuits and stuff. Okay, cool. It's also got some of this Great Reset stuff. It's also been out filming the Great Reset stuff, so it's also been making their own jewellery. Interesting, quite cool. And painting some models, some Citadel miniature style models. Quite cool, fair enough. So I've got an eclectic mix on this channel. It's never going to take off on YouTube. But but they were at the conference, yeah? Look, they were filming the conference. We know that Welsh Dragon Metals, Martin's son, was at the conference now. Well, that was pretty fucking terrible. Won't be seeing me with Martin anymore, nor will I be posting for a fairly long time. So I suspect. See ya. What's happened? What's happened? It doesn't say. Lawrence doesn't say what's happened. Stormy Gale here says that Martin's changed so much in the last 4 or 5 years. She's angry about it. Or he's got angry. I go back and watch older posts. He was kinder and gentler. Not now. There's a divide in the flat earth community. What's happened? We don't know. Welsh Dragon Metals, Lawrence's Martin's son. He was at the convention 3 days ago.
They leave them there, the homeless people, because they want the society warning when you write on the...
Filming Martin.
That attack. I knew about that though.
Filming this conference. We've been there and we'd had a look at these videos. There didn't seem to be any trouble. That was 3 days ago. And then the same 3 days ago, it seems like after the thing's finished, maybe that night, you see, I should have gone, shouldn't I? I should have crashed the party, but I wouldn't have been able to because I had a dog that I have to look after. Even if I'd gone for a couple of hours, I wouldn't be there. This is the thing I also thought, to give it the respect, I should have been there all night. They obviously got drunk, didn't they? I think they got drunk and then something went wrong. I don't know what went wrong, but it was pretty fucking terrible. That was all pretty fucking terrible. Does he think the event was terrible? Or was something else that happened terrible? You won't be seeing me with Martin anymore. That's his dad. Nor will I be posting. I wonder why. Because you didn't just post about Flat Earth. You posted about all sorts of shit. All into this metal and electrics and, you know, interested in stuff. I don't think that's bad. I think it's okay and cool to be interested in stuff. I think your channel's not going to take off in terms of, you know, people aren't going to be interested to look at it. But somebody will, and if you're interested in it, it's a great record of what you're interested in. It's great. I think that's cool. Gold prospecting by recovering it from circuit boards. Interesting. Not interesting Jake Paul, you know, Mr. Beast interesting, but fair enough. I'm not a critic of yours necessarily, other than the Flat Earth promotion. But that is your dad doing that, and you're just there with him, so maybe you don't really believe it. I don't know. Whatever, though. Whatever's happened has happened. And he's not going to be posting for a while. Did he get trolled? Not that I can see. These are people that were actually there. Look, great to meet you. So sorry you were so unwell. Hope you're feeling better today. So unwell. I hope he's not an anti-vaxxer who got COVID, because that can be really serious. If you get COVID and you didn't have a vaccine, then that can be really serious. Sorry you were so unwell. Maybe you just got really drunk. Maybe the other thing, you know, so unwell makes it sound like you might have got really drunk and then, you know, maybe that. I'm having to sort of guess, aren't I? Because he left this cryptic message. That was all pretty fucking terrible. Won't be seeing me with Martin anymore. Welsh Dragon Metals, reach out to me. Reach out to me. I don't know, maybe I'll reach out to you. Maybe I'll reach out to you. I haven't done yet, but maybe I will. I feel a bit worried that if I reach out, they'll say, why do you want to talk to me? I don't want to talk to you. I'll alert them to what I'm doing. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't realise you were making these videos. Now I know. Now I'm going to be cross. But I don't want that. I want to see if we can do something to make this better. Because deep down, I'm hopeful that this isn't too serious. But if it is bad, if it is serious, deep down, I wonder if I can do something to help Welsh Dragon Metals repair their relationship with their dad. I don't know. Or something to make them feel better. I'm concerned. That cryptic post is a bit of a worry there. And Martin hasn't posted anything since, so I don't know. I should have done this at the start of the episode. We'll do another Martin episode, and I'll do this at the start of the next Martin episode next time. But yeah, that's me then. Coming up to 2 hours. That's the entertainment. That's entertainment. That's all you're getting for today. 2 hours of this. I keep saying I'm going to go and play Genshin Impact on stream later. I never end up doing it because I end up getting tired and playing Genshin Impact on Twitch later. It involved me sitting here. The house goes quiet, people go to bed. I don't want to be shouting and yelling. So I'm not promising that, but I don't feel like I'm done for the day yet. So we'll see. Anyway, you be good. That's 2 hours of wild conspiracy feb debunking. We've got a mystery to solve now. What's gone wrong with Martin and his son? What went wrong at the conference? got a mystery to solve, and we've got more videos to come back. Obviously, there's going to be infinite more videos of this idiocy. But what I want to make clear is that I'm not trying to debunk every idea, because it's silly. Because a lot of the ideas are self-debunking. Like these thoughts. You look into it for 10 seconds and you've got your answers. Someone said it would be good if they could make a list, or they're trying to make a list. Someone's at home looking at maps trying to make a list, and they don't realise that it's already been done for them. You know, that's the level of idiocy that we're dealing with. And that's what alerted me to it today, is it's not about trying to convince people the world is flat. It's not about trying to convince people that Tartaria happened. For the people that are running these scams, for the people that are running these con jobs, what it's about is convincing enough people, not everyone, just enough stupid people. £35 a ticket, 10 people, 350 quid, that's the room covered. 20 people, I've made 350 quid. 40 people, I think he only got between 20 and 40. So I think maybe they just made the money for the hotel room and a bit of food. Maybe they ended up spending money on the whole event. Maybe it didn't go as well as they hoped. But what they're hoping is to make a bit of money. Because these people haven't got a big lucrative, I didn't get my degree. I bowed out of university before a degree. So I can't walk into a nicely high paid job. I can't run that system either. I get the sack. I'm not the kind of person that can just listen to the boss tell me what to do. Damn the man, save the empire. So I'm like these people, but I'm not trying to con you and grift off you I'm not trying to find the most vulnerable, stupid people in society and gather them up as cash cows with spurious ideas. So, that's what I'm thinking today, is there's something, sorry, my battery just ran out, and I'm not going to change because we're about to bin it off, but I think these people, I think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing the Nigerian Prince scam. So my content has to be a little bit of debunking to get us in, a little bit of laughing at the comments, a bit of laughing at the ideas, but really fundamentally, bottom line, what I want my content to be here, I'm starting to realise it as I'm doing it, is it's a little bit of that other stuff, but I'm not pointing fingers on the internet and bullying people. I'm not trying to be smarter than you and cleverer than you. I realise these vulnerable people are being misled. So me, heart of hearts, what I really want to do is highlight that to them so that they can change the things that are happening in their lives. Maybe stop giving so much credence to the devils that are confusing them. And, maybe improve their lives and be happier. I want Martin to be happier, even though he is the devil that's confusing the people. Because I think he's been confused by other devils as well. There's another one, isn't there? There's the homeschooler. Homeschool Tartaria. This lady, there's no place like home. Do
you guys see this app right?
Please. See, she's making money off me looking on her video now. She's advertising the honey. She's in this for the YouTube clicks, isn't she? She's not got your best interests at heart, has she? But she is homeschooling her children, and she is a religious zealot. She's a religious zealot. She's a bit of a Bible basher. She does Bible study every morning with the kids. So, I worry for her kids. I worry for the fact that they can't be getting a proper education because you're not a biology teacher, a chemistry teacher, a history teacher, all rolled into one. Her children are getting their education from the lunch lady. She's probably about as qualified as the lunch lady. And that's where they're getting their education. So she's doing them a disservice. But I worry for her as well. And I want her to realise that she believes in God. Michelle, listen to me. If you believe in God, realise that I am the archangel. And the people that are giving you these bad ideas, they are the devils. The devil comes with whispers, but you don't see the devil. The devil comes is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You don't see the wolf until you've been bitten. You are becoming an agent of the devil if you're spreading these ideas for your own personal benefit. If it's about money for you, Michelle, if it's about your bottom line, your financial interest, if it's about what you get, that's the devil. That's not sharing. That's not looking out for your neighbour. That's not Jesus. So you bear that in mind, Michelle. You bear that in mind. I am the archangel and they are the devils. You are working on behalf of. You bear that in mind. And all you people from Tartaria, you will believe what you want. come here, please, and argue in the comments. I'll highlight them on the channel, I don't mind. But overall, give it a good think. You know, just because I've been a bit of an arsehole to you today, don't hate me. You give all these weird ideas a chance, give me a chance. Huh? Alright, you be good, my little podcast. I'll see you anon.